My name is Kathleen Metzger, and the presentation to follow is a SOAR analysis of training in the workplace, including considerations for inclusion and neurodiversity. The agenda for this presentation is as follows. We will start with a description of a SOAR analysis and an introduction of the program to be evaluated. This will be followed by an overview of the training location and the learners in the training. We will briefly address a description of neurodiversity, inclusive teaching, and the universal design for learning. We will then embark on our SOAR analysis, and finally, we will end with next steps. This presentation will include an overview of SOAR analysis of a workplace trauma-informed care training. SOAR analysis addressed the following 4 categories. Strength, what is going well? What is the unique or great achievement? Opportunities, current trends, or potential collaborations. In other words, filling in a gap. Attention, what areas need attention and or can improve. And finally, recommendations, what measurable results are desired and what steps will get you there and how will you know when they have been achieved. This is a brief overview of the training location. The training this presentation reviews is a workplace training about trauma-informed care. This educational training takes place in person at work, and the training is offered at a multidisciplinary medical home. This is a brief overview of the learners this training is intended for. The learners include all staff at the healthcare center, including primary care such as nurse practitioners, registered nurses, medical service assistants, patient service representatives, and administrative staff. The dental department, including dentists, dental hygienists, patient service representatives, and administrative staff. Outpatient behavioral health, including licensed mental health professionals, such as psychiatrists and adult, children, and family therapists. And finally, social services, including a social worker and community health worker. This analysis will center on considerations for neurodiversity, inclusive teaching, and the universal design for learning. Neurodiversity takes into consideration that every human being's brain is unique as a fingerprint. This knowledge informs the understanding of neurodiversity and that the world can be experienced in many ways. Inclusive teaching involves making sure that the learning environment and experiences are equitable, accessible, and include the learning needs of everyone. This is important in the workplace, as it is in all learning environments, because the learners are made up of diverse individuals, and as noted, everyone's brain is unique. Considerations for inclusive teaching include to acknowledge and counter bias and power in learning environments, to get to know your staff or students, to be explicit about expectations, be mindful of language, and to engage in collaborative discussion and decision-making. The Universal Design for Learning, or UDL, supports considerations for inclusive design. It is a framework that supports learners and educators to optimize for all individuals, regardless of differences. These guidelines include the following 3 pillars: multiple means of engagement, of representation, and of action and expression. Multiple means of engagement is of notable saliency to the health center staff. Multiple means of engagement takes into consideration that individuals are motivated for different reasons. This is of note for the staff, in addition to neurodiversity, because staff are made up of various disciplines, including a wide variety of educational experiences, training, interest and investment, as well as availability to participate in staff training. While this can be challenging to the staff learner and to the workplace educator, the pillar of multiple means of engagement offers supportive guidelines to optimize learner engagement and inclusivity. And now we begin our SOAR analysis with considerations for strength. Strengths of the workplace training include considerations for inclusive design as well as UDL. For example, 3 particular recommendations for inclusive design are represented in this workplace training. They include being explicit about expectations, being mindful of language, and engaging in collaborative discussion. With respect to UDL, this training provides staff with choices, including how they want to participate and what topics are most important to them. Finally, shared decision-making is taken into consideration. This is also in alignment with inclusive design. Examples include selection of topics and vocabulary. More specifically, staff agree on vocabulary and adapt as needed to be more relevant for each group. Next in the SOAR analysis is considerations for opportunities. When we consider the question, how can you make the most of your training, the following opportunities arise. Because of the size and nature of the organization, it is not uncommon to be onboarding new staff. It is therefore important that we are consistent when integrating new staff. Also, that we are ensuring the language and expectations are consistent in all staff meetings and trainings. Finally, soliciting staff for feedback and improving upon the training to meet their needs, thereby maintaining collaboration and shared decision-making. When we consider the question, what new collaborations or partnerships can you pursue, student collaboration comes to mind. The Health Center is a partnership with Drexel University where students can be engaged and offer their relative expertise that might further the support not only the context of the training program, but also the flexibility in which we can offer it. The next step in the SOAR analysis is considerations for attention. In other words, what areas need attention or what gaps need to be filled? Here we take to mind considerations for inclusive design as well as UDL as areas for needed attention. Relative to inclusive design, getting to know your learners is critical for us. With this knowledge, we can create alternative training opportunities to meet the variety of needs. This effort itself will further be supported by considerations for UDL. For example, with respect to multiple means of action and expression, we can bring more attention to optimizing access. For example, if on-demand training courses were created, we can also offer transcripts and closed captions, as well as other accessibility tools as needed. When we consider multiple means of representation, there is an opportunity to cultivate multiple ways of knowing by engaging staff in storytelling. We can trust in the wisdom of the group by inviting staff to share reflections and stories of experiences they've observed in professional settings related to the context of the training, and continuously link lessons learned in real-life examples to the training content. And finally, attention can be brought to supporting multiple ways to perceive information and illustrate through multiple media. For example, video, graphics, and other activities can be incorporated into the workplace training. The final step for this SOAR analysis is recommendations. Recommendations explore questions like, what measurable results are desired, and what steps will get you there, and how will you know when they've been achieved? Recommendations for this workplace training include the following. All staff will receive the training within their first 90 days. This will support the continuity of a shared workplace culture, including expectations and language. It is recommended to create a reflection tool that staff can use for on-demand trainings or in person to reinforce learning and multiple means of engagement. Also to employ a knowledge assessment. Aligned with inclusive design in UDL, this can be delivered in a variety of ways. For example, staff can self-select how they want to participate, such as engaging in group dialogue, one-to-one dialogue, or they can take it on their own time with a reflective conversation at a later time. To ensure accountability of these recommendations, a goal date will be set at the start of the training period. Staff and supervisor can engage in an agreement for accountability and thereby reinforcing collaboration and shared decision-making. The recommendations will also be supported by next steps. We will end here with the next steps to support and improve upon this workplace training. First, we will need to establish a plan for implementation of the discussed recommendations. This will be done in collaboration with staff at different levels of the organization to ensure representation. This includes developing an on-demand training with options and accessible materials. Also, a strategy for implementation of the trainings will be developed to make sure they happen within 90 days of onboarding. Also, the development of a reflection tool and the development of knowledge assessments and shared accountability plan for managers and staff. Finally, a one-year evaluation will be scheduled. This will include planning and evaluation protocol and also include feedback from staff managers alike to ensure further representation. Thank you for taking the time to listen.